Hi everyone, it's Justine here from House of Mahalo. Thanks so much for joining me, it's great to see you. So today I have some fabulous news. We've hit 1,000 subscribers on my channel. Isn't that amazing? So it kind of rolled on last week. It was one of those things where it just kind of happened. And so really now I've got to get my shimmy on with the giveaway prize. So if you remember, we're working on this together, which is going to be like a Lapbook Folio style journal. And so I want to focus on a bit of the inside this week. Really, I'm going to try and get that finished this week if we can, but yeah, we'll have to see how we go, but you know, I'll do my best. Because yeah, I need to get a shimmy on really. So here we go. So today I want to focus on making the journal for the inside. And I'm going to try something a little bit new for myself. Like, I've never done this before. It has been done, not my idea. Various people have done it, so yeah, I'm not sure. I can't exactly remember where I saw it first. It might have been Shabby Dabby Doodah, but I just can't remember. Basically, we're going to make Franken pages that we're then going to use as a journal cover. So this is the paper that I've chosen for the inside. This beautiful scrapbook paper, I think, comes from my Craft Consortium pad that I've recently done an unboxing for. And I've got some children's book pages. Now these were stitched into the book, so I've been able to take them out as, you know, a whole like double page, because I didn't have any, where the Lapbook Folio is landscape, you know, it goes across this way, A4 paper wasn't going to be big enough, and this is really the only thing that I could have that was large enough, and I actually had to trim it down to size. So I've got a double page spread, which is going to be the journal cover, and then of course with the Franken pages on top, with the scrapbook paper in the middle, it should be, you know, sturdy enough for us to use. So yeah, we're going to focus today on the Franken pages part, and then depending on how long that takes, we might have to do the journal cover or the journal itself in a part 2, but sort of thing. But yeah, I'm just going to get going with the Franken pages. So I'm going to I'm going to washi the middles of the papers first of all. Okay, so I've just washied it front and back. You're not going to see this, so I just used a washi I'm not particularly drawn to. And then we're just going to go ahead and start sticking some things down. So basically this is using all of my scraps from the project that I've got so far. So yeah, we're just going to start layering things down without really much thought. And then once we've done that, we'll then be in a position where we'll stitch up the papers. And I'm sure you've seen this before. And the idea is that you basically follow, like you go around each of the papers with the sewing machine. And of course you don't have to use the sewing machine. You could just do this with glue. You know, that wouldn't be a problem. And I've got two pages out, you know, book pages, because to be honest, probably going to not get through all of these scraps for just one page. And I'm just using a cheapy glue stick, because obviously I'm choosing to sew them, so yeah, once we've sewn them up they'll be nice and strong, so I didn't think it needed anything particular. And I'm going to try my best to go every which way, you know, horizontal and vertical, and we're just going to basically build up the pages like so, and you know, eventually we'll be in a position where hopefully we've got something cool. So thanks so much for, you know, taking the time to join me. You know, really I should thank you, my crafty friends, for the 1,000 subscribers, because at the end of the day, you know, you choose to spend your time with me, and of course I'll do my best to keep showing you tutorials that I think you might, you know, enjoy and get value from. You know, I like to try and show you interesting things when I can. It doesn't always work out like that, because I'm still learning myself anyway, but yeah, I will keep on continuing trying to show you some fun things. And yeah, more than anything, I hope you just continue having fun hanging out with me, really. So yeah. So, I mean, really, this project doesn't take much talking about. So it's one of those projects, I suppose, where I can just talk away and you can either speed me up or I might sound like a chipmunk if you do that. But if you, you know, if you don't want to hear me talking, then you don't need to. Now, I'm trying to stay away from the spine. I will just talk about that part of it. Only because when we like fold the page over, I don't want this kind of thing, so I'm actually going to cut that off. And then we'll just have like lace or fabric or something along the actual spine part, you know, to hide the paper underneath. I'm going to go through a lot of glue sheets today. And I've got two different kits that I've been using. The main one is from Marie's Paper Lab. Sorry, I stuttered when I said that. It's Marie's Paper Lab. I will link the kits below. And then I've also started using the, is it called the Rustic Lilacs kit from Nanine at Collage Type. And that's a beautiful kit. So some of these scraps might also be from that as well, because I'm sort of using the two together. Because there was a lot to cover in the folio. I sort of didn't really realise quite how much there was to cover. Until I started going, and then I thought, maybe I could do with another kit. So then, yeah, we've got the Rustic Lilac kit from Nanine, which is really pretty, and it goes nicely, I think, with Marie's kit. So, so yeah. So I'm going to do my best to do this. I'm doing two because then I have options. Because, you know, at the end of the day, I want to give you the best. And having never done this kind of a project before, I really don't know how these pages will turn out. So yeah, I thought if I do two, A, I've got lots of scraps anyway, and B, it then means we can, I then got options and all the rest of it. And as you can see, I'm not really bothered about where I'm putting things, because, you know, we can always add to it if we find that it needs more, can't we? And these papers are beautiful, so quite frankly, I think wherever I put them, I'll be happy. And I am trying to layer things up almost like, it's almost like a patchwork, isn't it? Where you sort of, you're going every which way as best you can. And the idea is, you know, we'll do stitching like this all the way around each little bit. And that's all I'm going to say, because, you know, the rest is, as you can see, pretty pretty self-explanatory, and you'll see the finished result when I've gone off to do the stitching. And then, as I say, we'll have to do a part two, which will be to actually make the journal. I have a cutie little thing that I want to try for the front cover, not necessarily saying secrets, but that's just a sneak peek of something else that I've got planned for the front. So we'll see how it goes. So aside from that, I think in the last video I was telling you about my husband and I going off to do miniature golf. You know, the Pirate Bay thing. I have put a photo up in the community tab on my channel in case you want to have a little sneak peek at us there. Yeah, anywho, we've done the pirate golf now. That was last week. And I think I was telling you about the time my husband said about getting a hole-in-one. Well, he didn't get a hole-in-one on that hole this time, but I did. I didn't say, I wasn't cool like him. I didn't say, I'm going to get a hole-in-one now. But I did, you know, I did get a hole-in-one. I got 2 holes-in-ones through the whole game, mixed in with a few 10s and 12s. But it was great fun, and yeah, it was absolutely great fun. So, you know. So this one, I think I'm okay to go over the spine with a longer piece. I just don't want this kind of thing. So I'm actually going to cut that off before it gets stuck underneath this piece. As I say, never done it before, so, you know, I'm learning as I go. It was just something that I saw, I don't know, someone do. It might have been Tina, it might have been Tanya. I'm not sure. So where I saw it first. But as I say, this isn't anything new, everyone's done it. But I thought, yeah, just get rid of that bit, and then I might put some more across it. I don't really know. You know, it's too late, and I'm going with what I think. But anywho, so that's that. So yeah, my husband won in the end, the mini golf, but I held my own. I gave him a run for his money this time. So yeah, we'll have to keep going, and every so often I'll get better and better. And eventually, I'm determined I will beat him. It can be done. But yeah, it was great fun, and that was that. We've also got our trip to. Sorry, I'm just looking for a little piece just for this front. I don't know. Should I have more flowers? I suppose. Why not? Who doesn't love flowers? Yeah, so we've got our trip to Isle of Wight booked now. We're going to go in May. So it's just for like a long weekend, you know, Thursday, I think it's Thursday to Sunday, something like that. And really it's going to be a very relaxing trip. You know, we don't want to do a huge amount of things, which is new for us. Normally our trips are very well planned out, and we just, you know, get a lot done in the time that we've got, you know, to make the most of it. This time we have got a few things that we want to do, but for the most part we're going to be relaxing on beaches, hopefully, if the weather is nice. We've got like coastal walks that we want to do, and there's also so I don't know how many of you know much about the Isle of Wight, but it's basically an island south of the UK, south of England. The ferry isn't too far. It's like I don't know, an hour or half an hour. It's, yeah, not very far at all, really. But you know, I've never been. In my whole life, I've never been. So, you know, we thought we might as well. And yeah, in Cowes, which is where the ferry comes into port, there is a house there called Osborne, which was the Queen Victoria's summer residence, and I'm very keen to see it, so we're going to do that. And yeah, we've got coastal walks and, yeah, beach trips planned. Fingers crossed the weather holds out for us. So I'm just rooting through to find my smallest scraps, because this type of a thing would be, this project would be great for those. I'm just trying to think, where could this long one go? If I tear that like that, and I could have that go there maybe. I'm sort of trying to make sure that I'm going in a patchwork style. Does that fit? Oh, that just fits. You know, I'm trying to go horizontal and vertical, which is, you know, when you're talking, it's like I have to concentrate on the simplest things, you know. So telling myself to go every direction possible is, yeah, it's a learning curve for me, because, you know, if I had it my way, I would just put everything the same way. But that is not the point today. Right, I'll put that piece there. I tell you what, this glue is actually pretty good. It's like a cheap glue, like, yeah, and it's sticking very well. I know I said I was going to sew and everything, and I will, but actually this glue is pretty good. It's taking really quickly, and it's not all like a sloppy, gunky mess. Maybe because it's like a smaller stick. I don't know. I'm talking about glue again, aren't I? Oh, Justine, get some more conversation topics, please. So yeah, I've told you about the pirate golf, and as I say, we've got our trip booked. I don't know, I think you would have seen the video by now, but I'm not sure if you have. Either way, you'll be seeing it soon, where I've started doing a new thing behind the scenes. So you'll still see videos from me every week, several times a week. Nothing has changed there. But actually on this side of things, I'm doing a week on, week off type of a schedule. So I've got a week of filming, and then the other week is spent on my blogs writing. And I tell you, I've been going for 2 weeks of doing that now, and I'm so glad. I'm doing it because it's the best idea, really. You know, just to blow my own trumpet for a second. Because, yeah, it's, I don't know, I was able to get into the flow of writing really, really easily and quickly. And I haven't been able to say that for a long time, I have to be honest. I've really, really been struggling. And yeah, I was able to do it. And it was amazing. And I thought, brilliant. And then of course with videoing, I mean, hopefully you can even just tell, like, I feel so much happier because I have time, the time that I do my planning on Sundays. So, you know, I knew I could come on and do this video, for example. I knew exactly what I was doing. And yeah, I've basically got the week planned. So I'm just reaching for my tear ruler because I need just little bits now. Anywho, and yeah, it's been working really well. It's allowed me to get into the zone of crafting and get into the zone of writing each week. And I actually come back to it feeling refreshed because it feels like I've had a week off when I haven't. You know, I've been working my little butt off, as always. I work very hard. But because it's a completely different part of your brain that I'm now using, you know, I was writing last week and now I'm just doing things with my hands. You know, it is a different part of the brain. It takes a different type of concentration. And yeah, I just feel really, really good about it. So I'm so glad I tried it. Because, you know, I wasn't sure at the end of the day whether it would actually help me. I didn't know. But yeah, it was a great idea. I think they call it like batch working, don't they? Where you just focus on a task and you just get on with it, and it allows you to get into the zone and all the rest of it. So I'm so glad that I gave it a go. So I hope it pays off in terms of keeps feeling like that, and you know, I hope that you will notice a difference in videos with just me. I'm hoping just being, you know, refreshed and raring to go as opposed to, you know, not feeling that way. So, but yeah, that's just a little, oh my goodness, I can't rip this one. There we go. That did not want to be ripped, but it's going in anyway. And we can always, no, just go with it, Justine. Now, how long have we been doing this for? I mean, not too long, is it? But I think I might do the second one off camera because it's just the same thing, it's just sticking. And then I can go off, stitch them both up, see what they look like, and then we can choose one which will be the cover. And yeah, we can take it from there with getting the journal sorted for the inside. It will look very different once it's all like stitched around and everything, I think, I hope. Because, you know, at the end of the day, my first time doing it. So I'm hoping it will look good. But as I say, I'm going to do two so that I've got options, because the last thing I want to do is spend time doing one thing and then for whatever reason find that it doesn't work out and then I don't have a backup. I'd much rather have backups at the same time as what I hope is the final one. But and then I've just got a little piece there which I'm thinking we'll go with that one. So yeah, so this is essentially done, I think. If I can't see any other bits that are showing, need to trim that edge off. I've got a little piece there, but I think because we're going to put lace over it, I don't think, yeah, I think it will be fine because, as I say, we're putting the lace on. I don't know if I should just put a strip down the middle. I don't know. I might do that, you know, just to make sure that everything is definitely stuck down, and then it adds a final layer. So, I think this one will be nice because it's neutral enough. And as I say, half of it won't even be seen anyway. So I'm just going to get it stuck down and then I'll trim it. And then yeah, I'll go off and do the stitching, the sewing, and then we can see what we're left with. As I say, I will have the 2. And then yeah, I'll see how we're doing for time, and then if things pan out, then I'll just do the journal in one, but if not, we'll do a part 2, and I might just you know, put them up on the same day or something, so that you're not hanging around for too long waiting. We'll just sort of see how it goes, really. Because yeah, the journal is going to be like a naked journal. You know, I'm going to sort all the papers and things, and I will try to use a mix of different papers. But the idea is that, you know, I want the journal to be yours to do what you like with. And we've got all the ephemera from the actual, you know, the actual folio. So I think that will be the, you know, the interesting part. And then this is just really a place to write and everything. So that will be that. I'm just folding it, which is a bad idea because the glue isn't dry. I just want to give it that crease so that when we come to sew it, I'm actually going to sew it. When I do the bits around the outside and everything, I'll actually be like bending, curling like this through the sewing machine, just because then it allows the paper room to like grow, type of a thing. It works with fabric, so I think it will work similar way to the paper. So this is what we've got. So as you can see, we've got like all different patchworks going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to go around each individual piece. So say I was to start here, just for an example, I'm going to stitch down here, I'm going to go along here, go down here, around here, and so forth, basically just capturing every edge of each piece, which is why we didn't have to do any inking, because the stitching is like the inking, you know, it gives it that border. So this is what we're starting with, and I'm going to hit pause now, get the other one done, then I'll do the sew-in of both of them. We'll choose one, and I'll show you what they both look like. So I will see you in 2 seconds. Okay, so the stitching is all done. So this is essentially the Franken paper, essentially finished. So as you can see, you just basically just go around each of the pieces of paper, and it gets its name from Frankenstein, I guess. So that's what it ends up looking like. So that's that one, and that's this one. And I cannot pick a favourite. I actually really like them both. So I'm going to build them both up. And then, yeah, eventually I'll have to make a decision as to which one will go in the journal. And the other one can just be a naked journal for something else. So so that's the Franken paper part done. Before I sewed them, I did trim everything with my guillotine to get it down to size, but also I wanted to do that after gluing everything so that everything was then neat and tidy. So that's that part done. So the next part is I want to make one of these. They're basically book plates, and this is inspired by Tanya from Tatty Treasure. So I will link her video down below for you to have a look at. But basically, we're going to make one of these, and I wanted to show you what it was made from. So this is a yogurt packaging, and on the back it's got this really nice like light brown colour. So that's what that is, in case you're wondering. Of course, you could use any card, you could use craft card, whatever you like. It doesn't have to be brown either, you could just go with what you think. So to start with, we're just going to do some very simple stamping. This is a metallic copper stamp, and this is just a flourish stamp. It just gives you a nice base, so that it's a bit less boring than just the plain brown. Just checking. You can see what I'm doing, can't you? So that's that part. Then we're just going to give it a good ink. So on these ones, I did a good amount of ink. So it just, yeah, gives it a really nice edge. So I'm coming in slightly from the edge so that it's got this really nice brown border. Just using my vintage photo in case you're wondering what the brown is that I'm using. So we'll have that. And then we want to layer up some different fabrics. So I need my fabric glue. So here's what I'm using. I've got some sparkly mesh, which let's be honest, you've seen me use a lot of times now, haven't you? So that's going to be our first layer for these. And basically the card itself, I just cut it down to size and then just rounded the corners. I don't use a die or anything. That's why they were all different sizes, because I was also going by how much of the packaging I could actually use, because some of it was like crumbled away, you know, so it couldn't all be used. Then we've got some just standard white lace, which I'm going to pop in vaguely in the middle. Great thing about these is it doesn't have to be exact at all. They look really, really nice, just being a little bit scrappy and all of that. And then the words that I'm using, these are from my porch prints. It's actually a freebie on her blog. So if I remember, I will also link that in the description box below, so that you can go on and get one of these. I've just printed them onto white card, and then she's done a really nice effect with, you know, giving it a nice sort of like vintagey type of a colour, I suppose. So that's going to be the middle of this one. And then once we've done this, the next bit will be to attach it to the cover, and then we can line the cover with some fabric and scrapbook paper. That's what I'm using today. So but we'll go one step at a time, won't we? So we're going to pop our word again vaguely in the middle, like so. And then we want to use some brads, and I quite like both, to be honest. I like it with these heart brads that I've got, but the larger, for the smaller ones, like these could go on pockets or little notebooks and things. The larger ones might need the bigger brads. So let me just, for some bizarre reason, I tidied up my desk and I'd put my brads away. So let's see what we think to whether we want big gold or whether we want the little hearts for this one. Obviously it is a larger size, so these heart ones might not look quite right with it. So I'm just going to make a decision. Oops. Yeah, I think we're going to have to go with the larger ones, just simply for the size that the card is. So we're going to punch our hole. Yeah, I really liked these when I saw them on Tanya's channel, and of course I was going to go out and think about getting some craft card, and then I thought no, I'm going to have a look through my packaging, and lo and behold I found this, and it was just the absolute perfect colour because it wasn't excessively dark. It's almost like a golden brown, I suppose. You know, it was, yeah, perfect. So don't do me, don't forget about your packaging. I always end up forgetting about it. Okay, so that's one brad in. I will have to open these up again once I decide where they're going on the journal, but for now, I mean, you could make these up ahead of time, which is what I've started doing here, because I thought, well, whilst I'm here cutting the card down and stamping it and stuff, I might as well, you know, do a whole bunch ahead of time. So, you know, and of course they're very much me and my sparkly style. So that's those. There we go. So that's how that one comes across, and I tell you, they look so nice on the fronts of covers. Of course you could put them on little notebooks and different things like that. So for these two, I'm definitely going to use either journal or notes. I just need to decide which one for each journal. I think they're pretty much a similar size. I think that one's a little bit bigger. Might do it this way around, I think. So again, I want to figure out where I'm going to put these. So kind of want it kind of in the middle, I suppose. So if I were to punch one hole there and one hole there, that's just to give me an idea of where I'm going. So let's pop our hole in, minding our fingers. There we go, that's one. Oops, just forgetting how big this cover actually is, and I'm knocking things all over the place. There we go. So let's open up our brads. And of course I've not covered the back of it because you're just not going to see it. And if you didn't do this brad idea, you could just glue these down. You don't have to put them through a cover like I'm doing now. You could just glue them onto your cover, and that would be absolutely fine. Just use a nice strong glue, and that will be okay. Okay, hopefully we are straight. That's straight. Yeah, relatively. Not too bad. And we're going to open those up inside, and then we're just going to squash them down so that they're as flat as they can be. Don't want excessive bulk, you know. I think it's a little bit wonky, but you know what, it doesn't need to be. Doesn't need to be perfect. I think it looks fine. I'm not sure if it's my stitching or the actual thing. If you were being really good about it, you could just measure it, but I'm not going to. I refuse to measure. To be fair, even when I measure, I get things wrong, so I'm probably best not doing so. So, where do we want you? I think about here would be good. That's that one. And that one. Right. And that rose has got markings on it, so I actually can't tell which is my pencil line. Okay, like I say, you could absolutely measure it. Do as I say, not as I do. Right, fingers crossed. I don't get my stitching because I've got a bit of stitching there. So yeah, if you are going to do this with the brads, maybe you want to have a little think about where you might be putting one of these book plates, and not to do stitching right there, because yeah, there's always a hindsight, isn't it? A hindsight thought of just, oh, of course, yes, I need to put a hole through the cover. Yeah, but yeah, I really like these book plates. I'll do these again. As I say, I showed you I've got some more of that yogurt box left, so I'll definitely make up some more. I would have done more, but at the time, but I ran out of words. I need to do some more. I need to print some more out, because I quite like the ones that are just, you know, simple words like notes and journal and stuff like that. Oops, popped it out. Just checking if it's straight because my eyes are deceiving me today. Okay, can take a little bit of manoeuvring, but we got there. We have got there. It's later in the afternoon now. I did the stitching after my lunch, and so I've got you know that post lunch slump that you get where your brain just turns to mush. I've kind of got that now, so you'll have to excuse me if I'm a little bit all over the place. Just there we go. Oh, they look so fab. I absolutely love those. And such a simple journal cover, really, using up our scraps and everything. So that's how those are looking. And I showed you the backs, didn't I? So that will be how it looks on the back. I think they look so smart, and with these book plates on, I think they look simple but great. So, right, the inside. So I have a slight dilemma. So I'll go one at a time. Because I have a dilemma, and this is quite wide, so I'll just do one at a time for now. So the width of the journal that it needed to be to fit the folio is too wide for any of my 12 by 12s. And, you know, I just couldn't think what to line them with aside from, you know, scrapbook paper. So, yeah, it's a little bit bumpy. It's just because I've got the thing on the back, isn't it? And anyway, yeah, so the 12 by 12 wasn't wide enough, and I was so surprised because that's the largest paper that I've got. So I was going to have this bird paper, which, as you can see, it just doesn't meet in the middle. So then I thought we could perhaps just have some fabric down the middle to disguise that. So it'll look a little bit scrappy, you know, with the fabric on show. I just don't, I normally put, you know, the fabric under the scrapbook paper, which I could also do. I'm going to have to make a decision, aren't I? Okay, I think I'm going to have the fabric on the outside. So I'll get these scrapbook layers stuck down first. I also need to decide whether I'm going to round the corners on the actual journal cover. Of course, if I round the corners, it does mean I'll probably have to round the corners of the actual journal. And I was planning on doing the journal in almost like a waterfall style. Again, because my papers aren't big enough to stretch the whole way across, you know, it will have to be, so I'm just concentrating to make sure I get this in a straight line. You know, yeah, it will have to be making the papers work for the cover. And that's just because the folio is such a strange size. You know, if it was could accept just an A4 journal, it would be absolutely fine, but it is what it is. Right, so let's make sure we've got this on straight then. So yeah, I'm just going to stick these in. And then I am going to do a final stitch all the way around the outside. And that's just my personal preference. Gets all of the papers down then for definite. And yeah, gets all the papers down for definite, and yeah, it just gives me gives me the confidence to say it's definitely done and it's definitely finished and all of that. But that's, you know, you don't have to do that. Could have done this all with glue. And if you like the Franken stitching look, then you could just do you could do faux stitching if you don't have a machine. Sorry, I'm just concentrating, making sure I'm sticking these down right. If they're not exact, I can always just do some inking. But I'm sure that is absolutely fine. Isn't that bird paper lovely though? And then we're just going to, yeah, I would have liked a darker purple really for this, but this is the only purple that I've got. It comes from Samsari. So I'm going to put some glue in the middle. Now I do have to be careful that this doesn't seep through the fabric, so I'm going to use my finger tool and just smudge that down so there's not too many like lumps, and then smudge that in. This will also give some stability to the cover as well, because it is only book page after all. I'm just hoping, fingers crossed, we don't get any glue seeping through this fabric. Got a little bit of glue just there. Can always add some lace over the top as well if we, you know, if I wasn't happy with it. Need a bit more glue. Am I still filming? Yeah, still going. Okay. As I say, it's literally just to disguise the fact that the scrapbook paper didn't go all the way along. If it wasn't such an awkward folio shape, you know, it's longer than it is taller, then it would be fine. But you know, I would have just done a notebook like normal, but no matter. There's always ways to work around these things. Let's just, dare I rip this whilst we've got it on there? Going to have to. Trust me, this is probably a lot easier than what I'm making it look like with my afternoon brain. There we go. I'll do the other one off camera because it's just the same process. You don't need to see me see me battle with both of them. A bit more glue. Just gonna move that out of the way. I'm hoping I'm staying on screen, but I might have cut that a little bit short, but no matter. These things are always rectified. And as I say, I will be going around it all with one final stitch. And as I say, if I need to add lace or something down the middle, then I will. It's fine, it's just that the glue seems to be coming through the thinness of the fabric. It's not, you know, it's actually coming up through the fabric as opposed to there. Right, I think I'm going to hit pause because I'm going to have to just smooth that down a bit, and I'll get the other one done, and then I'll come back and finish off. Don't want that to fray too much. That's probably why I'm going to stitch it as well. So I just need to smooth that out a bit. Okay, that's the 2 journal covers ready for sewing. So yeah, as you can see, it's a little bit scrappy on the inside right now, but once we've done some stitching, I can then obviously cut the fabric down a little bit more. But all in all, I'm really, really happy with them. I still don't know if I'm going to round the corners. So you might see these with rounded corners, you know, before I go off to do the stitching, because I'm going to do that now, and obviously we don't have time to put pages in the covers just yet, so this is just the covers. We'll do the pages another day, or I'll just do it off camera. It's only going to be a, you know, a naked journal, just a few pages. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with how they look. I hope you like them as well. And so the next time you see these will be, well, I suppose we'll have to start building up the folio, and obviously these need some pages. So yeah, I hope you like the covers so far. I'm really happy with them. I'll definitely do this Franken paper journal cover type stuff again. It really used up all of my scraps, almost all of them anyway. And I actually really, really like how the covers came out. So I will leave it there for now. I'll say goodbye, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye for now.